A year ago, we tested the Tata Altroz, and it really impressed us with its space, its ride and handling, and of course, its looks. But what really didn't impress us too much was its petrol engine. We thought it was underpowered and rather unrefined too. However, Tata are now making amends with this. Yes, this is the turbocharged version of that same motor. Now Tata promises that it's transformed the driving experience, and I'm really keen to find out if they've succeeded. So I'm going to be focused on the engine and its performance. The rest of the car is pretty similar to the regular Altroz. But if you do want to have a look at that in detail, then we have the video up on our YouTube channel. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, and you'll be notified every time we post a new video. Now with the turbo strapped on, there's been a noteworthy bump in power from 86 horsepower to 110. Torque too has climbed from 113 Newton meters to 140. This is still lower than what the engine makes in the Nexon, however, and that's because the Altroz's 5-speed gearbox would also need to change to handle the extra power. The rated efficiency has dropped from 19.05 kpl to 18.13. Not much. A word of caution though, in the real world, turbo-petrols can be thirsty. Now, is it an improvement over the regular naturally aspirated petrol? The short answer is yes. There is certainly more power, and the car no longer feels like it's dragging anchor, and it's easy enough to keep up with traffic. Demand any more, however, and it will leave you wanting. The trouble is that while performance is an improvement, it's nowhere near the others like the Polo 1.0 TSI that has a sub 10-second time in the 0 to 100 km/h dash. The Altroz claims a time of under 12 seconds, while we only managed 12.68 in a quick test. And this was in sport mode. Yes, that's right, the Altroz iTurbo has a sport mode.
Sport drive mode activated.
The regular petrol has a eco and a city mode. This one has a city and a sport. The sport mode isn't peppy though, and it misses that punchy feel. The thing is though, the power comes in at around 1800 RPM and rather sedately. So you press down like this and then it'll build up slow all the way. And then at around about 4800 RPM, it will catch like a second wind. And it's certainly fun and entertaining, but I would have preferred it if it were at a lower rev. The engine is vibration free, however refinement isn't great and it does sound coarse. There's also some road noise from the front, and on the whole, the NVH levels could do with some improvement. The Altroz's chassis setup of course is just fine. Ride is superb, as is the handling. We've really liked it in the car before, and it remains the same here. Tata say they have made small tweaks to the suspension and steering, and expectedly, ride and handling is excellent. The well-judged suspension along with the stiff and taut body shell enable the car to sail over even sharp ruts and potholes with ease. The steering is nice and light at low city speeds, and then at higher speeds into corners, it weighs up really nicely, giving you a good amount of confidence. And with the chassis setup, the Altroz really has the potential to be a good driver's car. With the Turbo Altroz, Tata has also introduced its IRA Smart Connected Tech, a new color, the one we have on test, and there's also new perforated leatherette seats. There's also a new black and light grey interior that looks very nice, and a few extra features like 2 more tweeters on the sweet sounding Harman system. So the Altroz has a decent amount of kit, it looks good, it's got ample space, and the ride and handling is superb. There's also the 5-star crash rating to boot, and Tata may also play the value card and price it competitively. The addition of the turbo though hasn't transformed the car into the hot hatch we expected. What it has done, however, is it's brought the performance more in line with the car's sporty character and has now nicely rounded off a well-packaged car.